Just a quick tip, we're going to go over how to cut any kind of metal with your 4.5-inch angle grinder or a 5-inch angle grinder. It's very simple to do. So you have your grinder, we have our cutoff wheel, it's basically, or you can use a grinding wheel, whatever you can find. Sometimes they have these little thinner, makes it easier to cut. Just put that on there, make sure you get your back piece here. Everything's lined up. Twist it till it's nice, good and tight, and you're ready to go for the grinder. Now we're going to take your metal, any kind of metal, it doesn't matter what you're cutting, the principles are still going to be the same. I'm going to use some horseshoes here just because I'm going to make a little horseshoe hanger while doing this. You'll need a set of clamps. The cheapest clamps you can find, and you can pretty much find them anywhere, are C-clamps. They're great clamps, you can use them for anything. Now my favorite clamps of all time are of course the C-clamp vice grips. Vice grips are awesome. The only problem is they're a little pricey. These run about 20 bucks or so, maybe even a little bit more. Whereas your C-clamp, I think I picked this up from Harbor Freight for $1. And that was about 6 years ago, and as you can see it's a little worn and beat up, but it still works perfect. So you always want to make sure that you have whatever you're cutting secure onto something. Make sure that it is nice and tight on your table or whatever your cutting surface is going to be. Now that I know that that's good and tight, now you want to draw a line or just wherever it is you're cutting. For this, I know that I'm just going to cut this in half, so I don't need to make any markings. And obviously when you're cutting, if you need precise cuts and this is all you have to cut with, make sure that you take into account for the width of your grinding disc. Some of these grinding discs get pretty fat, up to 1/4 inch, and you want to make sure that you're not going to be 1/4 inch off. So if I have my line drawn here, I'm going to come to the left or the right of the side. So we'll start cutting. Alright, so you can see that cuts through it really easy. Now this is a new grinding wheel I have on here, but they don't get dull, they just get smaller. So the smaller and smaller your grinding wheel gets, then you're going to need to get a new one. So now that I've already cut this in half, I'm good to go. And you pretty much just follow these same techniques for anything that you're cutting.